All right, this is part 2 of that same lesson. We're going to talk about naming hydrocarbons. All right, so the basic understanding or basic process for naming hydrocarbons, you should think about three things. Number one, the types of bonds that are involved. Do you have a single bond? Do you have a double bond? Is there a ring? And we'll talk about rings, naming compounds with rings in another lesson, but those are some of the things that you should be thinking about. The second thing is, how many carbons do I actually have in this compound? Do I have 5 or 6 or whatever? And that's going to be based on the prefix, or the prefix is actually based on the number of carbons. And I'm going to talk about those different prefixes, most of which you're familiar with, but there are a few that are new. And the last thing are the branches or the side chains coming off of the parent chain. That's not something we're going to talk about in this lesson, but it is in a near or upcoming lesson, future lesson. You have to tell me what is coming off of that parent chain and where it's coming off of that parent chain, okay? All right, so when we're looking at the basics, the ending for that particular hydrocarbon is going to be based on the type of bond. Do you have a single bond? If so, the ending is going to be "-ane". If you have a double bond, the ending is going to be "-ene". And if you have a triple bond, the ending is going to be "-ine". So that part is the easy part. And you can either do it based on counting the hydrogens based on the carbons that are there. You can actually have the structure there and just kind of see that there's a double bond or a triple bond, or none of those are all single bonds. It really just depends on how I provide that question, okay? And then the second thing is, you're going to number your carbons or count the carbons. You're not going to number them quite yet. You're just going to count the carbons. Once you do, they're going to be assigned a prefix. Now the prefix, again, you're familiar with 5 through 10. Those are things that we've talked about in a previous chapter or even in math. You're just familiar with those. You're going to be more familiar. 1 through 4, a little bit different. All right, meth, eth, prop, and bute. Those are a little bit different for you. And I'm going to help you with those. Now, there is a mnemonic device to kind of help you through that whole process of the prefixes, the first 4 at least. Like I said, the last 5 through 10, you are already familiar with, and it kind of just works, all right? But the first 4, meth, eth, prop, and bute, there's an easy way to remember it. It's monkeys eat peeled bananas. M in monkeys for meth, eat for eth, peeled for prop, and bananas for bute or butane. All right, and so we're going to put that to practice. The other ones, like I said, you're familiar with it. Pent, as in pentagon, or something that has 5. I skipped and I went down to oct, like octagon or octopus in this case, has 8 tentacles, so octa 8. Right? And dec, you guys are familiar with the decade, which is 10, decimal based on power of 10, and decathlon. All right, that's kind of the familiar ones, and those are the ones that I have pictures for. The reason why I skipped is because I didn't have a picture for hex, hep, or no. So the way you think about it, hexane or hexyl has 6 sides or whatever, or hexagon, I guess, has 6 sides. Hep has 7 sides, heptagon. Known, I always think of it like known sounds like 9, and that's actually what it means. It has 9 carbons there. All right, so that's kind of what that was there. But again, you guys are already familiar with most of those prefixes because you've seen them in math. We talked about them in chapter 8. The only ones that are a little bit different for you guys, 1 through 4, because normally 1 would be mono, but in this case, it's not mono, it's monkeys or meth. Okay? All right, now, the ending, the naming part of it, this is another part of the basics. All of those prefixes actually end with an A, but because, when we're talking about in chapter 8, it just sounds goofy. It looks a little strange when you have an A next to another vowel. It looks weird, so we just drop that and we just add it to the ending. All of the endings will have a vowel because you have een, ain, and ein. And so they're all going to have that vowel sound, so we drop them. So in this particular case, I have a 6-carbon compound. And so with the prefix 6 or the prefix 46, I know that's hexa. All right, but I'm going to drop the A, and because it's an ene, I know it's a double bond. Hopefully you guys all said it. I know it has a double bond, but the ending ene has a vowel, so hex-ene is my name. So that's kind of how that works. All right, hopefully you guys understood that. And this is the last slide, I think, for the continuation. The naming that should have gone on the left side. I'm not really sure how all of that works, but anyway, we're going to kind of go through. I'm going to go through that. So for the first one, it's an alkane, and it has 7 carbons. The prefix for 7 is hepta. I'm going to drop the A and really put it next to ane, and that's going to be heptane. All right, 9 carbons and still an alkane, single bond. All right, 9, prefix for 9 is known. Nonane would be the name there. All right, so hopefully you guys got both of those correct. When we look at alkyne, I know INE tells me we have a triple bond, and we have a 2-carbon compound that has a triple bond in it. So 2, the prefix for 2 is not die, but monkeys eat, F-I. That should be your name there. All right, and then the 4-carbon alkyne, monkeys eat peeled bananas, B for butene. All right, again, hopefully you guys got that one correct. We have the 1-carbon. All right, and the 1-carbon is an alkene because that tells me that it has a double bond there. So based on that, 1-carbon, monkeys, that would be methene should be the name. But remember, when we're talking about double, single, and triple bonds, we're only looking at carbon to carbon. If there's only 1 carbon, there is no way that it's going to form a double bond. So that's not even a possibility. You'll never have a 1-carbon alkene, right? Only an alkyne. And then the 3-carbon alkene, 3, monkeys eat peeled, so that's propene. All right? That's kind of how that works. So hopefully you guys got all of those right. And yeah, there you go. I think I'm going to have this on Google Classroom, so you guys will try that first, and then, well, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, there you have it.